The topic of this class is the modal verbs. It was planned for a third baccalaureate with duration of class of 45 minutes. Objectives. Through this lesson plan, the students will be able to identify modal verbs and use modal verbs in speaking and writing. Methodology and strategies. The methodology I will use is the communicative language teaching and audiolingual method. The strategy I will use is the whole class work and pair work. Anticipatory set. In the anticipatory set, I will show a video about modal verbs. The video consists of a short conversation using modal verbs. And this activity will allow students to improve their listening, pronunciation, and the understanding of English. Main teaching input. In the main teaching input, for the warm-up activity, I will ask some questions about the video and immediately begin to teaching the topic of the class. During the class, some random questions will be asked to see their understanding of the topic and prepare for the next activity. At the same time, I will write some examples on the board, and I will also say some examples related to the daily life of the students in the classroom. These examples will help the students to understand the subject better in an easier way. In the next activity, we will work with a worksheet where we'll develop different types of activities related to the modal verbs. This activity will help students with grammar and improve their writing and speaking skills. The next activity is that they must work in groups of 2 students. Each group will have to choose 3 professions. Then they will have to write that each profession could and cannot do. Then they will read in front of the whole class, and their classmates will have to guess what job they are doing referring. This activity will help to improve grammar and also with listening and speaking skills. And at the same time, the pronunciation. After finishing this activity, the next thing the students will do is write 8 sentences using modal verbs. With this, they will demonstrate their understanding of the topic, each one. And this activity will help me to detect the last mistakes that the students may make. In order to correct these errors, I will end the class by doing a short review of the topic studied in the class and showing the video of the conversation using at the beginning of the class. Modeling. In the modeling, the examples that I give during the class and the answers to the exercise will provide the students a clear contextualized model. Guided practice. In the guided practice, students in pair will have to choose 3 professions. Then they will have to write what each profession could do and cannot do. Then they will read in front of the whole class, and their classmates will have to guess what job they are doing referring. Teacher walks around the class to monitoring. I will work around the class to monitoring the activity. Independent practice. In the independent practice, the students will write 8 sentences using modal verbs. The assessment. In the assessment, I will evaluate my students by asking some questions during the class. Closing review and follow-up. The class will conclude by briefly reviewing the topic. I will show the video of a short conversation where the use of the modal verbs showing again. I will show the video of a short conversation that I will using at the beginning in the class.